Today is Wednesday, June 21st, and we're going to take a spiritual walkabout. So get your spelunking cap out, and we're going to go deep diving in the Old Testament. Today we're learning about Moses, shepherd, leader, and man of God. Our focal verse is 1 Chronicles chapter 23, verses 14 and 15, which are really quite brief. It reads thus: "The sons of Moses, the man of God, were counted as part of the tribe of Levi. The sons of Moses, Gershom and Eliezer." That's it. Psalm 23 is a wonderful starting point for us in our adventure today because it talks about the shepherd's staff. "Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." And I actually brought along with me today an example of a shepherd's staff. You can see that it's quite long. And when we hear those familiar words of Psalm 23 verse 4, they're two very different things, the rod and the staff. Well, remember that sheep are dependent. They wander, they stray easily, they're small and defenseless, and so protection is essential. And what provides that protection is a rod. It gives defense, protection, it's relatively short, it's a heavy club-like device. And the thing that gives guidance from the shepherd is the staff. It's long with a thin hook or a crook at one end, as you just saw. The rod was used to fight off wild animals, count sheep, direct sheep, prod sheep. However, more difficult, stubborn sheep don't need responding or prodding to. More difficult, stubborn sheep don't respond to prodding. So the staff was used for the shepherd to exert authority and gently but firmly pull the sheep back to the fold and keep moving in the right direction. The shepherd could also use the crook of the staff to pull sheep from harm. In chapter 3 of Exodus, we gain a picture of Moses. In verse 1, we find the Hebrew who as a baby had been rescued and raised in Pharaoh's court as a prince of Egypt, now living as a fugitive in Midian. We find Moses the shepherd tending flock with the staff, told by God to throw it down. We find Moses the leader whom God has sent in verse 10, plagued by doubt, verse 11, told that the elders would listen to him, verse 18, and who still has doubt, chapter 4, verse 1. Moses took the mantle of leadership begrudgingly at best, and it probably helped that he had shepherd skills from which to draw and rely on. We find Moses, the man of God, standing in God's presence on holy ground in chapter 3, verse 5, whom God is sending to the Israelites in bondage, to whom God reveals the divine identity, I am that I am. God calls this man, shepherd, leader, man of God, to do God's work among God's people. That's what this father is asked to do, and that's what we are asked to do. In 1 Chronicles 23, we heard about Moses' sons. I wonder if this faithful father told them the stories of the divine encounter that he had experienced. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Don't you know who I am? I am your God. But surely not I can't speak. What is in your hand? My staff. Throw it on the ground. Give it up." In this divine disclosure, as God is revealing God's divine self, God tells Moses to throw his staff, that which he relies upon for his work, on the ground. God will transform it into something different, something new. Perhaps this is one of the greatest life lessons that Moses could teach his children. Whatever you're holding on to, control, bitterness, rage, anger, fear, uncertainty, doubt, give it up. Throw it down. Don't hold on to something and miss God's best. Trust me. Thanks to Shelby Greenmore for today's wonderful devotion. Have a great day, everyone.